Welcome back. We're going to work on the servo motor now and the circuit for it, and then I'm going to show you how to program that. Okay, so in your kit, well, first of all, let's unplug our previous design. In your kit, you should have something like this. This is called a servo motor, or more specifically, an SG90 servo motor. So the SG stands for soft gear. So there's a little motor in here and a little gearbox that's made out of plastic gears, right? You see that little gear train. They sell other ones that are a little bit stronger, have a little more torque, that are MG, they're metal gear. But these ones are pretty good and they're nice and cheap. They should also come with a little baggie that looks something like this. Basically, these three plastic pieces are the horns, or the pieces that go on the front of the motor, and actually like that you can attach things to, and you could just pop it right on there. It also comes, I'm just going to take all this out. Also comes with two screws. These bigger ones are for mounting, so they go through these holes, and you could like mount them to plastic or whatever you want. This smaller one is what like will lock the servo horn into place. So if you just take a small screwdriver, put the screw in there. Make sure I go in at a 90-degree angle. Get that in there. The great thing about these motors is that it can rotate. Usually they'll rotate 0 to 180 degrees, and they can remember their position. Also, don't do what I'm doing, spin it back and forth. I think that is bad for the motor, but who cares? But you guys only get one of these in your kit. I don't want you to break it. But the good thing about servo motors is they'll rotate 0 to 180 degrees, but they can remember their position. That's super useful for our project because if it's at 0 or 180, if it's at 90, it knows exactly where it is. So that's good. So there's 3 wires. Just like the LED, you'll have a red and a black wire. So black is ground for -5 volts. Red is +5 volts, so the positive voltage. And then this orangish wire is the signal wire. So instead of 2 wires on the LED, now you have 3, because there's 2 just for power and then a third one which tells the servo sort of what to do or command it where to go. So the way that we're going to wire up this is, let's grab our wires from our previous circuit. I'll put these back in the baggie because we're not mounting anything for now. Okay. And so pretty self-explanatory, but like I said, I like to use black wire goes to ground. Red wire goes to +5 volts. Just match up the colors. I like to try and stay consistent so it's easy to see what's what. Make sure it's fully in that terminal block. And then you take the yellow wire, and that goes to our orangish wire, right? So if you look at the Arduino now, we've learned before that if you power the Arduino, you can give the Arduino, plug it into the ground. The black goes to ground. The red is going to go to +5 volts or 5V on the Arduino. And then our yellow wire, once again, is our digital signal wire. So where is that going to go? On one of the digital PWM ports. And this is specifically important because I can talk a little bit about it later, or if I've already talked about it. But PWM is pulse width modulation. These take a specific signal to control them. So they have to be on one of these ports, but we're going to do that anyway. So let's once again plug it into pin 8. And boom. That's all you have to do to hook this guy up. Now let's jump into the Arduino, and let's jump into the Arduino IDE, and I'll start explaining how to program this thing.